This is the story of the very first people, Adam and Eve, and their life in a special place called the Garden of Eden. It was a beautiful garden, filled with every kind of tree and plant you can imagine. Everything was perfect, and it was all created by God. Long ago, before cities and countries, God made the world. He made the sky, the land, the oceans, and all the living creatures. Then, God decided to make people. He made the first man, Adam, from the dust of the ground. God breathed life into Adam, and he became a living being. God placed Adam in a wonderful garden called Eden. It was a place of peace and beauty. Adam was meant to care for the garden. He had everything he needed. He was not alone for long, as God saw that it wasn't good for Adam to be by himself. God created many animals, and Adam gave them names. But none of the animals were quite right for Adam. So, God made another person, the first woman, Eve, from one of Adam's ribs. Adam and Eve were made to be companions for each other, and to live together in the garden. In the center of the Garden of Eden, God planted two very special trees. One was the tree of life, and the other was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God told Adam and Eve that they could eat from any tree in the garden, but there was one rule. They were not allowed to eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God warned them that if they ate from it, they would surely die. Adam and Eve lived happily in the garden. They talked with each other, explored the beautiful surroundings, and enjoyed all the good things God had provided. They lived in perfect harmony with God and with all the creatures in the garden. They had no worries and no sadness. One day, a serpent, which was a clever creature, approached Eve. The serpent asked Eve if it was true that God said they couldn't eat from any tree. Eve explained God's rule about the special tree in the middle of the garden. The serpent then told Eve that they would not die if they ate the fruit. Instead, it said their eyes would be opened, and they would be like God, knowing good and evil. Eve looked at the tree. The fruit looked delicious, and she thought about what the serpent had said. She reached out and took some of the fruit. She ate it, and then she gave some to Adam, and he ate it too. They had broken God's one command. As soon as they ate the fruit, something changed. Adam and Eve suddenly realized they were naked. They felt a new feeling they hadn't known before, shame. They had lost their innocence. They knew they had done something wrong. When they heard God walking in the garden, they hid. God called out to Adam, asking where he was. Adam explained that he was hiding because he was naked. God then asked if they had eaten from the tree he had forbidden. Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the serpent. Because they chose to disobey God, Adam and Eve could no longer stay in the Garden of Eden. God told them they had to leave. They had to go out into the world and work to grow their own food. The path back to the Garden of Eden was guarded, so they could not return. This story teaches us that when God gives us instructions, it is important to listen. Adam and Eve learned that choices have consequences. Even though they had to leave the beautiful garden, they continued to live and have families, and the story of humanity began from there.